Hey guys, welcome back to another Plan with me. This week I'm planning from October 16th to the 22nd, and I am a little frazzled right now. I'm not gonna lie. I've never done this before, but I just had to go downstairs and make a noise complaint because I live above a coffee shop, and the two girls who were closing for the night were playing music so loud that it was shaking my entire apartment. And I could hear every single word. And obviously I would not have been able to do this voiceover if I hadn't gone down. And even though I was nice about it, I, of course, am scared that if I ever have to get a package down there, they're going to throw it away or steal it. Like that's how my anxiety works. I'm sure some of you are the same. I would never have complained if it was my neighbor. I would have just like sucked it up, because I don't think you should do noise complaints against your neighbor unless it's like 5 a.m., you know what I mean? But, I'm more important than two coffee shop employees dancing around while they close the store. You know what I mean? So I did it, but now I just feel like a little sick, and I'm incredibly scared that they won't give me my mail one day. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I'm trying to relax, but I have to do this voiceover right now because I need to film and there's no space on my phone. So excuse me if I am in a mood or a little high strung. I'm going to try to chill out, but that's like one of my biggest fears, complaining. I don't like doing it. So I feel sick. And now I'm like the old fart who lives upstairs, who's not letting the teenagers have fun, but like I need to have fun. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Anyway, this week wasn't that fun anyway. So it's like the weekend was okay, but, I was pretty sad and stressed and depressed this week. So I guess my mood fits the spread. This kit is from PinkPlannerShop, and I believe it's, I can't remember the name of, I think it's Creepy, or maybe it might be Creepy. I think it is. Sorry, I'll have to look it up. I'll have it linked down below. But, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm like frazzled. As far as things that happened this week, like I said, I was just feeling really down and really, really hating my job. I think this is October, like September, October were probably the worst 2 months I've ever had at this job. And it was just really hitting me at this point. Like I had absolutely nothing to do except call people, and I have phone anxiety. So I was like really not happy. One good thing that did happen was on Tuesday, I forced myself to go to a concert, and I really didn't want to go because I was so tired, but I'm so happy I went because it was really good. The band was Emarosa. Their singer has the voice of an angel, and in person, he sounds just like the recordings. Like, it was insane. So I'm really glad I went, but I was already like tired. So that wasn't really like a great way to set up the rest of the week. And then on Wednesday, I had a work lunch with my coworkers, which is nice. Like free lunch is nice. And I had leftovers that I got to take home to eat for dinner. So that's cool. And we went to like sort of a fancy bougie place. Like my one coworker got escargot, which is whatever. I'm not going to say because I've never had it, so I shouldn't judge. But you get my point. Like it's a fancy French restaurant. So we went there. However, one thing did rub me the wrong way, and I admit I could be a little oversensitive, and I might be reading into this too much, but I don't care. It still like really bugged me. And essentially at this lunch, the conversation, one of my coworkers asked like when I had to move, and if I planned on like, I don't know, like staying in my apartment or looking for something else or whatever. And I told them like, I have no idea. I guess I'll find out in March. And my boss was like, do you think you'll stay in Philly or not? And I just told her, I don't know. And I really don't know what I can afford. And she goes, well, if you don't mind doing the roommate thing, you could always just get another roommate. And it just really pissed me off, if I'm being quite honest, because like, you're the person who sets my salary. Like, she's literally the CEO of the US branch. Like, she sets all our salaries, and you're basically telling me that I will not be making enough money at this job to afford rent. And like, yeah, rent prices are really high right now, but it just like really irked me, especially because she's so loaded. And I actually recently found out that her husband makes so much money that she doesn't even need to work. So like, they're loaded, and it just really bothered me. Like, my other coworker has a house, and my other coworker, he lives in like a really nice building, and they're all engineers. So I get it, like, it's different, but it just is such a slap in the face for your boss to suggest that you get a new roommate. And I told her, I was like, honestly, I'm not comfortable living with a stranger. If my roommate moves away, I'm gonna have to figure something out on my own. But yeah, that really bothered me. The rest of the week was pretty just blah, me hating my job. And then over the weekend, my boyfriend and I went to his best friend's son's first birthday. So that was cool. It was nice to get out of this city, but yeah, I was just like not really feeling this week. Now, please forgive me. I forgot to hit record when I was planning Monday. I think my alarm went off, and then I just never continued recording. So I'm just going to go through that really quickly right now. So the first thing on Monday that I marked with this angry rush hour traffic emoji was that I got stuck behind a garbage truck and a taxi, and the taxi was picking up someone in a wheelchair, which, like, okay, they can't rush. But let me tell you the audacity of this man, because I have already been sitting, and I know I couldn't back up or go around because he was on my street and I needed to park. Like, there was a parking spot on my street, so I had to wait it out. And I waited about 5 minutes before this person even came out of their building. Then, of course, fine. They have to like go up the mechanism that like gets them into the cab. That's fine. But then this taxi dude, who knows I have been waiting for 100 fucking years, then takes his sweet ass time, moseys to the back, moseys back to his seat for some reason, sits in his seat with his feet sticking out of his car, looking at his phone for a hot minute, then finally gets in his car, takes forever to start the vehicle. Like, I don't know about where you live, but a lot of people in Philly feel entitled to the roads and your time, and like, how dare you exist and rush them. And so they will purposely take their sweet ass time. And I wish nothing but bad things on them. Like, they're probably the worst people in the world. People who waste your time, worst people in the world. Anyway, so that happened. Then I got home finally and just marked that I worked in bed with another emoji. Then I deep cleaned the cat area on my break and used this little Once More with Love cat sticker to mark that. I also got new pillows in the mail this day, and the pillows are from Sticky Perks. This little tissue sticker, I can't remember where it's from, but I was just feeling a little under the weather. I never actually ended up getting sick, but I was just like afraid I was going to. Then I read, and I think this is from a freebie, these books. This Once More with Love scary movie sticker. I marked that I watched the movie Wreck, which is a Spanish found footage movie. Very good. I really liked it. Early 2000s, if that gives you sort of like an idea of, what to expect. But I really enjoyed it. And then I just marked that it was just so cold already, and I used this little leftover snowflake to mark that. And then the final thing I marked on Monday was that I had night sweats, and I was really nervous that it was due to my new antidepressant, because I can't function with getting night sweats every night. It just doesn't work for my life. So I was really nervous that was the reason, and I used a little sweating emoji to mark that. Moving on to Tuesday, the first thing I marked was that I walked to the office, unfortunately, and used this little emoji with a backpack for that. Then with this olive from Olive Studio or Olive Printables, I marked listening to a new audiobook, and it was called Such a Good Wife. If I remember correctly, it was so-so. It really wasn't that great, but it entertained me at least. I just wrote that I hate it here because I do, and I used this little munchkin sleeping at their desk. I was just like feeling really under the weather this week. And eventually I took a COVID test. I actually took 2. They were both negative. I was just tired. I think I was just really tired and like depressed. So that all feels the same. Then during my break at work, I had an Ulta pickup. I had to get more, what's it called? Fix Plus, Mac Fix Plus. And it was like on sale if you ordered online and picked up in store. So there is an Ulta near my office, but it's not like 30 minutes for a break is not very long, and the Ulta is like 12 minutes away, so I basically had to run there, wait in line, and run back, but I made it. And this little fake MAC eyeshadow sticker is from some random variety sheet I got a million years ago. With this little Trader Joe's munchkin, of course I marked that I went to Trader Joe's after work, and then I tried to nap before the concert, but I was just not able to. I'm really not able to nap much anymore. So that was a fail, and I used a Nope munchkin to mark that. Then finally, the last thing for Tuesday with this singing munchkin, I marked that we went to Emarosa, and fortunately the venue was so close to my apartment. So Joe was able to pick me up, and he and I went with 2 other friends, and it was just really, really good. So one good thing happened. But of course, that meant that I was like dying on Wednesday, and also Tuesday was my hair washing day, and because of the weather, my hair has been insanely flaky and greasy, so like skipping it was not an option, and using dry shampoo makes my head insanely itchy. So I had to. So on Wednesday, I slept in a little bit, and I used this munchkin sleeping on top of an alarm clock, and I just wrote 7:10 because that's when I woke up. I woke up with a very sore back. I was not yet used to all of the walking with a backpack to and from the office 3 days a week, so my back had really been bothering me, and like really badly this week. And so I used this little sore munchkin for that. Then with this Once More with Love Thanksgiving sticker, I believe, I marked our work lunch. Today was a 2 Red Bull day. I have not had a lot of those. I've been pretty good, but this week was just really hard for me, so I needed them. And I ended up only drinking 1.5, and I was able to leave the other half in the fridge at work because they don't clean it out till Friday. So 1.5 really, but I did mark 2 Red Bulls, and I used this little munchkin on a Red Bull can for that. With these, I want to say they're from SPC, I believe, these little sticker sheets, I marked that I print and cut a kit. Then with this stressed out munchkin, I marked that I started job hunting. It's been atrocious. It's been heinous. I can't believe that we have to do this for the rest of our lives. It's miserable. Then with a Sticky Perks remote control, I marked that I watched Real Housewives of New York City. And the final thing I marked was that Brad woke me up at 4 a.m. and I could have killed him. I needed sleep so badly, and this little bastard was getting into stuff that he wasn't supposed to get. He was trying to ruin my carpet and was knocking things over, and he's just such a nuisance. So I used this WTF munchkin as well as this Papershire cat to mark that. Moving on to Thursday, the first thing I marked was fuck you, SEPTA, because I didn't think I would take the bus, but like I said, my back hurt so much this week that I needed it as a backup plan in case I wasn't able to walk home. I really didn't want to take the bus because the bus is just as long as walking at rush hour. But anyway, the point is I tried signing into my account, and of course they had disconnected my key card. Then I tried connecting my key card and it wasn't working, and then they were saying my password was wrong even though it wasn't, and it was a nightmare. And then they sent me an email to reset everything. And I go in my email, and I am not kidding. I'm not kidding. I didn't press a thing. It wasn't in my trash. It wasn't anywhere. It disappeared. I'm not kidding. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's the weirdest thing that ever happened to me. I opened my email, it was there, and then it wasn't in a split second, and then it never came back. And you're only allowed to reset your password once a day. So I couldn't have taken the bus even if I wanted to. And under that, of course, I marked that I was so sore hence the whole bus situation, and used another sore munchkin for that. Then I used this angry munchkin at a desk to mark in office. And I used this bad day munchkin because I was having a really bad day for some reason, and it didn't have anything to do with SEPTA, and it didn't really have much to do with my job other than that, like, that's literally the worst thing in my life. But besides that, I just was just really, really down this day, and I couldn't get myself out of it. So in order to make myself feel better, when I went home, I ate way too much candy, and I actually didn't feel very well, but I don't care. I've been pretty good about candy this year, but that all went out the window these last 2 months. I've just been eating it nonstop, and I use this little Pop Rock sticker for that. I think this is from a freebie, and I cannot remember the name of the shop. Then with this little ghost reading, I believe from Once More with Love, I started the book Crooked Kingdom, which is the sequel to Six of Crows. And I really liked that. It's taking me a lot to get into this book. I'm about 200 pages in, and it's sort of like torture, but I'm not ready to DNF it. Is that the term, you book talk ladies? You let me know. I'm not ready for that. I'm really going to try to get through it because it does have interesting parts, but oh my God, it drags. Then with this YouTube sticker laptop from Scribble Prints Co., I marked Real Housewives of New York City. And then the final thing with this existential crisis emoji, I just marked that I laid around. I had no motivation to do anything, and I just wanted to never get up again. Moving on to Friday, the first thing I marked with this happy ghost at a laptop from Once More with Love, I believe. I marked that I got to work from home, and then directly under that, with this eye-rolling munchkin head, I marked that I still hate my job. Yes, obviously working from home is so much better. I have my cats. I can stay in my sweats, and I don't have to wake up early to walk there and back and all that. That's great. Still hate my job. Under that, with this little Piper Paper Plans Nike sneaker, I marked that I did a workout. Those have been rare as well. I just don't have the energy for them right now. And then with this Carly Plans suitcase, I marked that I packed because we were going away the next day. With this, I think this is from an SPC variety sheet, this little gift box, I marked that we had to run out for a last minute gift. And I was not happy about that. I do not like doing things last minute, but it ended up being fine. We found something and it was all good, but it kind of sucked going out at 9 p.m. to go hunt for a baby gift. Then with these olives sitting on a couch, I marked that we tried to watch a movie, but I passed out immediately. I had nothing left. Moving on to Saturday, the first thing I marked with this tired munchkin was that we were up so early because the party was at 1 or noon, one of those, and we had to get there in time, so we left quite early to drive to Virginia. And I used this really cute little squiggly road from Sticky Perks, and then these emojis in a car from Coffee Monsters Co. And then I just marked that we went to the 1-year-old birthday and used this munchkin with balloons. Then with this crying baby munchkin, I marked that I was just dealing with a stage 5 clinger all day, and it was great. It's fun to be chosen, but I'm not kidding. I held a 2-year-old all day until she went to sleep that night. And my arms and my back, keep in mind, my back was killing me, were in so much pain, but I just can't say no. It's I never get to see her. It's not my child. So when I see her, I want her to like me, and it's not my responsibility to deal with her sass, But I'm not kidding. I would go to the bathroom and she would try to break in and she would scream and cry until I got out. All of this to say, even Joe picked her up at one point and he was like, I can't believe you carried her all day. She's really heavy. It must be some sort of female instinct because I can't carry shit. I'm so weak, but I guess I can carry a heavy child all day. After that, we put the babes to sleep and were able to just hang out, and I used this laughing munchkin to mark that, and we just put random stuff on the TV and talked. Then I stepped away to talk to my grandmother because she called me, and I used this little Sticky Perks iPhone for that. I say little a lot. I need to stop. Then with another sore munchkin, I marked that my back was so sore. It was so sore. I really needed to rest this weekend, and instead I just carried around something heavy all day. And I also ended up sleeping on the world's flattest pillow. I do not enjoy a flat pillow. And I slept on a pancake, and I marked that with this insomnia munchkin. Sorry, I just had to get my sweet potatoes out of the oven, but where were we? Sunday. Okay, so finally, moving on to Sunday, the first thing I marked was that I was so tired, obviously, because I didn't sleep well, and I just marked that with this little zombie munchkin. Under that, with an emoji drinking some water, I marked that we just hung out for a little bit longer, and in parentheses, I put later than we should have, because I always rush Joe. I'm always in a rush, and because it was his best friend, I held back, even though it was killing me. I tried to pretend like I was chill and not freaking out, but I was freaking out, and we left later than we should have. But it was fine because I didn't drive. I got to sleep on the way back, so I can't really complain. But I will anyway. Then I drank 2 regular Red Bulls this day, which I really don't like, but they offered them to me and they didn't have sugar-free, and I'm not going to say no to a Red Bull, especially when I haven't been sleeping. So of course I drank them and they were appreciated. Then I marked that it was time to drive home, and I used this little, I keep saying little, Jesus Christ. Anyway, this munchkin in a car to mark that. We stopped at a Red Bull on the way. We stopped at a Walmart on the way to get Red Bull. I assume it was probably Red Bull, and I used this Sticky Perks bag to mark that. Then with this WTF munchkin, I marked that we got stuck in Eagles traffic, and that's a big reason why we probably should have left earlier, but it's fine. There was a home game that day, or whatever you call it in football. I don't know. I don't like football, but everybody that we passed was in an Eagles jersey. And there was so much traffic. We had to go a different way, and then we were back on the highway. It was atrocious. But Joe didn't factor in tailgating because that's not his thing. I mean, it's not my thing either, but he didn't realize people are going to go to the game early. So yeah, we were in the thick of it. We ended up just getting Chinese for dinner, and we got it from our regular place, but it was pretty lackluster. Both of our meals just weren't as good as they usually are. And then the final thing for Sunday was that we watched American Horror Story, which is disgusting, terrible, worst season ever. We have given up on it. I think we watched maybe 4 or 5 episodes, really trying to give it a chance. No, absolutely not. So then we just watched the Beckham documentary, which we both very much enjoyed, and I just used these munchkins for that. But yeah, that's everything for this week. Definitely, I wasn't feeling my best, but I think the weekend helped with my mood. Obviously, it's always nice to hang out with a little child, even if they are heavy. Obviously, it was great. And yeah, that's it. Nothing. I don't know. I got to hang out, and I got to get out of the city, so that's good. So yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.